So I'm at LAX now. I got my bag, I just got to find my guitar now, but my suitcase, it looks like it's been run over by a bus. I've half knocked it back into shape, but it's bloody busted in here. Busted in here and here. Busted in down the bottom. It's like it run over it. So anyway, there's nothing in it that can break, but thank goodness. You know, I try and find my guitar, and then I got to find the next terminal to take me to Australia. So my second flight was late, so by the time I left the terminal, walked across the road into the other terminal to catch my flight from LAX to Australia, I had missed my flight. I missed my check-in by 15 minutes. So they wouldn't let me check my bags on, so they had to change my flight. Oh, here's my ticket, hang on, I've got to get this bus, I think. So I missed my flight. I missed my check-in time because the second plane was late. They rebooked my ticket, but the only other flight there was is 10 p.m. tomorrow night, and it's now 11 p.m. so 24 hours. There's also no hotels. I tried to ring the cruise line. Hang on. This might be my bus, hang on. So here's the story. Now I've worked it out a bit. My second flight got into LAX 1 hour late. I got straight off the second flight, walked across the street to catch my flight back to Australia. And I missed my flight. I missed my check-in time by 15 minutes. So I couldn't check my bags in. So they said I couldn't get on the plane. And they rebooked me for 10 o'clock the next night, tomorrow night. But then I had nowhere to stay. And it was 10 o'clock at night, so I have 24 hours at the airport with nowhere to sleep. And the places were closing and the food joints were closing. So then I rang Carnival's, the ship people's 24-hour helpline, and they tried to book me accommodation, and they couldn't because everything was booked out. Then the airport guys said call some other line. Oh, that's right. They said call Carnival from the payphones. I went to 2 payphones and neither of them worked. So then I went and just talked to the counter lady and she let me use the phone there. That's when I rang Carnival. They couldn't get me a hotel because everything was booked out. Then I went back and asked the first ladies that wouldn't let me on the plane, can they help me book a motel? And they said they couldn't, but go and ask the supervisor. So then I went and asked the supervisor, and he said, well, why don't I go back to the second terminal I was at that I just walked from with all my bags, and ask them if they can give me free accommodation because I missed my flight because of their delay. So then I got on a bus and I went all the way around back to the terminal again. Then I went in and spoke to a lady upstairs, and it was all closed. And she said, go downstairs and try behind the escalator, there's a help desk, which I'd already been to earlier to pick up my bags. And there was one guy there who made a few phone calls and then called his supervisor, and his supervisor came. And then these two guys were incredibly helpful. I reckon I sat there on my bag on the floor, because there's no chairs, for maybe an hour and a half with those two guys, and they were ringing all the hotels they could find. They couldn't get me a hotel with their usual routine because everything was booked out. So then one was on Trivago.com and the other was on another one, and they were just ringing every hotel they could at a distance from the airport, getting further and further away to try and get me a hotel. And everything was booked. And then we found one, and then I booked it, paid for it, and I thought I'll just double check, so let's ring the hotel and make sure they got a room. So we rang the hotel that I booked, and they said we've got no reservations, as in we're fully booked out. And I said, well, I just paid for one. And they said, well, there's a mistake because we're booked. So then I had to ring back the Trivago people and get a refund, which I did, but took ages. Then we kept ringing backwards and forwards all these hotels, and we finally found one, and it was, I forget the price now because it's too late, I'm too tired, but $260 for one person for one night. And the supervisor for this was the airline, let me just supervisor that was there for Atlanta Airlines said, don't worry about the price, you get the hotel, we'll reimburse you for that. Then they got me a taxi that was 30 minutes from the airport to the motel, and they paid for it. Then they prepaid the taxi tomorrow to pick me up at 3 p.m, take me back to the airport, which they reckon is going to take about 2 hours because of all the traffic. So they paid for that. They gave me a $150 voucher that I can spend. Paid for the hotel, paid for the Ubers, the taxis, gave me the voucher, and they did something else too. But they were so helpful, and this is all right now. It's 2:30 in the morning. They did all this at 12:30 at night. From 12:30 at night until about 2 a.m. they were doing all this stuff to try and get me somewhere to sleep. And then I got this room, and the room is massive. Let me see if you can see it. The lights are off, but there's 2 double beds. And the supervisor said, don't worry about the cost, just get a bed. Oh, and they also gave me a late checkout at 3 p.m, and that cost extra as well. So, man, am I glad to have a room, and I'm so tired. But it all worked out in the end. Tomorrow, I'll take my taxi back to the airport at 3 o'clock. My flight is at 10, something like that, 10:30 p.m. Then I fly back to Australia, and then I catch a bus, and I get home. G'day folks, I thought I'd just give you a quick look at this program I've put together. Now it's called the Goal Chart Program. Now what you see here is the complete Goal Chart Program. So if you're interested in buying a program like this, what it does, it's a program to help you design your life. So it helps you design the career you want, how to get the things you want, how to get investment properties, how to get relationships, how to get money, toys, whatever you want, whatever's important to you, this program can help you design that. So if we have a look at it, so what you get is the Goal Chart Program, a step-by-step guide to help you design and achieve everything you want in life. Now this program is about 84, 85, 86 pages long, and what you get, this is the instructional book, so you get all these instructions on how to put together your goal chart. So it's fantastic and very comprehensive. You get here the goal chart workbook. So this is 8 or 9 pages long. 8 or 9? 8. So this is the worksheet book. So you get the blue book, you work through it, you end up filling out the green book. So at the end of that, you've got a complete goal chart that you can put on your wall, put next to your bed, put on your desk that helps you show where you are on the chart, what the next step is, what you've achieved, the things you can spend money on, the toys you can buy, everything is included. So when you finish that, you've got this fantastic goal chart completed. Now you also get in the program, now this is all stuff that I've put together, so you won't get this anywhere else. You also get the book of thoughts. So this is a book written by myself, 136 pages long, maybe something like that. And what it is a book full of fantastic quotes that I've heard or I've come up with myself over the years. And you get a quote and you get the meaning of the quote at the bottom. So it's designed for, you know, you can, it's small enough to put, well, it's small enough as in it's not too long, 100, how many pages? 136 pages or something like that. So it's not going to take you too long to read. It's great for reading when you go to bed or, you know, somewhere like that. It's easy to read. You read the quote, read the meaning. Read the quote, read the meaning. So it's fantastic. So if you're interested in a goal chart program or a way to help design your life in a way that might help map out some things, if you're not completely happy with what you have at the moment, this is a fantastic goal chart that might be just right for you. So get the goal chart, get the book, get the worksheet, and get the book of thoughts to go along with it. So if you're interested, take a look. You can look up my website, which is www.happylifeme.net, and yeah, have a great day. See you soon.